Hello, Dad. This is Jay Warren. This is the Dadhood Journey podcast, and today's topic is the benefits of roughhousing. Let's do it.
Hi, my name's Nico, and you're listening to my dad, Jay Warren. This is the Dadhood Journey podcast. Thanks for listening.
Yep. So I came across an article a year ago, something like that. It was called The Benefits of Roughhousing. And I remember bookmarking it, thought I'd post it, thought I'd, talk more about it in kind of more of an intellectual sense. But I didn't. It's been there in my, not inbox, but a folder in my inbox for a while. And it came to mind today because we had a wrestle fest in the living room this afternoon, and it was so freaking fun. And yes, there's tons of benefits I'll talk about in a second. I'll post the article for you to look at too if you want to. But Nico's been feisty. Holy smokes. I was just talking with some parents a week ago. We were having breakfast over at their house. All the kids were getting together and playing and, kind of crashing bikes into each other. And their kids they have twin boys. They're a couple months younger than Nico, and Nico's turning 5 in a couple months. And I did an episode about this recently, about at 5 years old, the growth spurt's coming, and in a 5-year-old boy, there's a lot of testosterone, and they just become like rambunctious, even more so than they were before. And it's like Nico heard me talking about this to the parents because he's just been really feisty, crazy these last couple of days, especially short fused, all that stuff that I was talking about in the growth spurt. But anyway, we were kind of like cooped up today. Like things didn't work out to like get going. I got back for lunch, tried for a nap, didn't happen. And just the way he was, it was like, all right, we're just going to freaking wrestle. So in the living room, I'm down on my knees, and Nico's just like barreling into me. He's like saying things he's heard on shows before of like, oh yeah, you think that's tough? Then try this. And then he just tackle me, and then the dog's getting involved in it, and he's like, oh my gosh, you guys are wrestling on the ground, then I'm going to come and like lick your face and like nip at you and everything. So I've got one hand manhandling the dog, throwing a toy for them to go chase across the room, then making sure I don't get blindsided by Nico with wrestling. And so, the things are talked about in the article, the benefits of roughhousing, they're for boys and girls. It's not just for boys. You'll see that in the article. I have a boy, so I'll talk about what it was doing for a boy. Like, it definitely burned a lot of energy, which was great. It was super bonding for he and I to like get on the ground and wrestle, and it was just fun, and he's laughing and I'm tickling him like crazy and everything. So it was just a really fun time for us. But at the same time, and this is what the article had said and what it brought to mind as I was doing it, it was definitely for him to try things out in a safe way, I guess. Like, some of the things didn't seem safe. Like, all right, we're getting close to the fireplace, and you could brain yourself on the on the brick ledge right there. So let's move across there. But, I'm keeping an eye on him. And if he's, like, tackling me, I'm getting him, and if I'm quote throwing him to the ground, I'm doing it really safely, but he's feeling his body moving around. They talk about like kinesthetically, like strength wise, body coordination wise. You're just trying out a bunch of different things, and instead of your head whipping back, he's protecting himself and he's learning how to roll. And if I'm laying on top of him and he's getting smushed, he knows how to fight back. And he's just innately like trying things out to defend himself but also be aggressive, but it's all in fun, right? And so I really saw him like getting like more confident with things, and not cocky and not like pushing the envelope too much, but just feeling like stronger and wanting to do stuff. But then another lesson, another benefit for it with us was, calling a timeout when things got too crazy. And for him to step into the timeout, not in timeout in a discipline sense, but just like, all right, we need to take a break, water break. You're breathing hard. You're super red and sweaty. Let's take a break. And we needed to take a break sometimes because he was getting overly feisty. And that kind of aggression came out in that he smacked me on the side of the head once. And I was like, whoa, okay, that's not okay. That's a rule. No smacking anybody in the face when you're wrestling. And then he kicked me. And it was different than like being on the ground and kind of grappling. And I don't do jujitsu or anything, but like leg moves and stuff like that and kind of pushing to get off. This, as he was like coming by me and I had my head with a duck, he just like kicked me in the leg, like straight up kicked me like my leg was a soccer ball. And I was like, it didn't hurt, but I was like, whoa, that's not okay. So learning rules of engagement, I think, is really good, and learning rules of, all right, I can tolerate and take these things, but if you are going to be wrestling with a friend of yours that's your same age and size and strength and agility, lack of agility, that kind of thing, like those things aren't okay. Like you're going to get into like a fight on like punching and things. So read the article too. I think it'll be interesting to see like all of those things about like brain development and burning stress off and bonding that you wouldn't think of. That in the article it does mention that dads are more likely to do this than moms, but it doesn't mean the moms can't. It's just they don't as much, in a stereotypical sense. So hopefully moms are doing that too. I think it's really good for them. Maybe it's like tickle fights more, but I think it's good for the kids to be physical in that way. And if, mom isn't like that for your kids, then boom, you get to be that for your kids. And it's just really fun. I mean, you get blindsided, I got like popped in the jaw and like, as I was throwing the ball for Toby, the dog, to go get, he like jumped on my back. And I can't tell you how many patients have come into me on Monday where, their mechanism of injury with their back or their ribs or their neck or something is like, my kid blindsided me and like jumped on me when I didn't see it coming. It happens. You got to be ready. Get your peripherals going. But it was really fun. And he's way more chill now. We did that for probably a half hour. Just going nutso in the living room, and it burned it all out. I should have done it way earlier in the day. It would have made the day a lot more mellow. But anyway, check out the article. It's in the show notes. I'll put the link in there. You can read it as evidence that roughhousing is good. Roughhousing is fun, and it's good for your kids if you're getting any flack for it. And just know that it's a really bonding thing and that you can teach them a lot. I think it's a really great thing. I know I had a blast. So until next time on the next episode, take good care of yourself, take good care of your families, and we'll connect on the next episode.
I hope you enjoyed that episode. You can hang out with other dads in our Facebook group. Just go to Facebook, search for the Dadhood Journey, and apply to get in. See you there, and see you on the next episode. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Perfect.
There you go, Dan.